This is Story Recapped. Today, I'm going to explain a comedy, horror, romance film called Warm Bodies. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. In a world where a catastrophe devours much of human civilization, a zombie named R spends his days wandering around an airport filled with his fellow kind. He has no memory of who he was, how he became a zombie, how he ended up at the airport, or what his real name even is. He just knows that his name starts with an R, so he goes by that name. He sometimes imagines the other past lives as well. As he contemplates his life as a zombie, he comes across a more extreme species of zombies called Bony, a skeleton-like zombie who will eat anything as long as it has a heartbeat. R also devours anything with a heartbeat, but in his defense, he's conflicted about it, unlike the Bonies. He strolls further and describes himself as a sad and lost creature, wandering around but never getting anywhere. A few steps further, he runs into his best friend called M. They manage to communicate rudimentarily through grunts, moans, and a few nearly coherent words, including the words hungry. As a result, R, M, and a pack of zombies head out hunting for food. At the same time, Julie Grigio was about to leave the city's safe confines with a group of young individuals to obtain some desperately needed pharmaceuticals. Julie tries to take Perry's hand in hers, but he pulls away. They watch a video of Colonel Grigio, Julie's dad, talking about how zombies are incapable of feeling and bleeding, so they must not hesitate to kill them. They then go out into the other side of the wall. While Julie, Perry, and their friends are looking for medicines at the laboratory, R and his pack burst in and attack them. Perry immediately knocks R down, but he doesn't kill him. R then notices Julie, who has drawn him, and for the first time, R feels something. When he is about to approach her, Perry shoots his chest, prompting R to kill him. Humans eaten by zombies are likely to turn into zombies unless the brain is destroyed. Knowing this, R goes for Perry's brain to consume it, preventing Perry from turning. At the same time, consuming the brain allows R to gain Perry's memories, plus, it tastes better too. As R bites on Perry's brain, he perceives Perry's childhood memories and his first love, Julie. R's attraction to Julie grows as a result of Perry's memories. When R has had enough memories to feel, he stows some of Perry's brain in his jacket before heading to Julie's defense. However, she thrusts a knife into his chest. He deflects it and moves closer to her. He saves her from the rest of the pack by smearing zombie blood on her face, masking her scent. He assures her that she will be safe before leading her out. Her friend, Nora, survives and witnesses this, but she can't do anything or else they will attack. Because the other zombies believe Julie is one of them, they pay her no mind. Julie sobs as she walks through the airport with the pack on their way to an airplane where R lives. He has it stuffed with random things he likes and pieces of vinyl by various artists. He tries to reassure her that she is safe, but still, she holds a knife, for she is terrified and suspicious of his motives. R understands that she's afraid, so he gives her space, leaving her inside the plane while he chews more of Perry's brain to learn more about Julie. He discovers that Perry wanted to prove himself to Julie's dad, and that Julie killed Perry's father, who turned into a corpse, traumatizing Julie. Hoping to comfort her, R gets her a blanket and plays a song she might enjoy. He sits across her, and his heart glows as it starts to beat again. The following morning, Julie complains about being hungry. R then goes out searching for real food for her while she takes advantage and attempts to flee. However, she quickly sees a swarm of zombies sniffing the air, sensing the living human nearby. R catches her, rubs her with his blood, and instructs her to pretend to be dead. He takes her back to the plane and provides her canned food and a stock beer. The events convince Julie to trust him. While she's eating, R tells her that she must stay for a few days until he determines that she's safe to leave. But the truth is, he doesn't want her to go. Julie agrees and wonders what she will be doing for the past few days. Later that day, R goes on a joyride with Julie, using an abandoned car he found in the basement. Julie steers fast while R constantly stares at her. She then teaches R to drive, allowing him to experience life once again. Back at the airplane, they pass the time by playing games and listening to music. Julie often communicates with him. R's responses become more coherent compared to how he talked before. Julie dances, reads, and explores the place to pass the time while waiting for the chance to leave. R's heart has been beating for a few days now. One night, he eats a part of Perry's brain to see his memories. The memory he sees, however, is of Perry dying at his hands. When he comes back to his senses, he discovers Julie has fled once more as she becomes restless. R finds her battling using a grass cutter against a horde of corpses, including his best friend. He defeats them and even punches M, knocking him down. M reminds him that the living is for eating, but R disagrees, and he escapes with Julie as a Bony chases them. R and Julie desperately run from the Bony but get cornered by 3 more. M comes to their rescue, running over the Bonies for them. With no other choice, they board his car. M then takes them into the basement and asks R if he would really be okay with her, to which R shrugs his shoulders. They turn and find more zombies in the area. Julie takes R's hand in hers as she feels scared, and the zombies are confused by this unexpected display of emotion. They let them pass until the two reach the car and drive away. The rest of the zombies watch them as they keep the bonies at bay. It begins to rain, and Julie eventually feels cold while driving. She pulls over into a nearby town, hoping to find some food and shelter for the night. Inside a house, Julie immediately lights a lamp while R finds other random stuff to collect. She sees a Polaroid camera and starts taking photos, believing that everything she sees might be the last one. After taking multiple shots and eating, Julie tells R that he can sleep next to her in the room. Awkwardly, he lies on the floor next to her bed. Back at the airport, M notices a poster of two people holding hands, which reminds him of R and Julie. He then experiences something lively that triggers a memory of his former lover. A zombie approaches beside him, prompting him to ask if he can also feel it, to which the other nods yes. More and more of their kind look at the photo, making their hearts glow. However, now that their hearts are beating, they've just become vulnerable to the bonies too. At the same time, Julie expresses her gratitude for R saving her life multiple times. She believes he's a good person and can see him trying to do better, unlike other humans in her city. However, his conscience cannot bear it anymore and informs her that he killed Perry. Showing her Perry's watch, he apologizes, but she turns around to grieve. Meanwhile, R eventually falls asleep and dreams of being with humans as they hope for a better future. He wakes up, confused that he can now sleep and dream, which zombies aren't capable of. Before he could digest his new ability, R discovers that Julie has abandoned him and taken the car. He then begins his heartbroken journey back to the airport, vowing never to think or feel again and only remain a slow, pale, hunched over, dead-eyed zombie. On the other hand, Julie runs out of gas and must walk the remainder of the way. She looks back, wondering about R, but pushes on. When she finally reaches the city gates, the soldiers quickly test if she's infected before letting her in. When everything's clear, the colonel greets with a hug. On his way to the airport, it starts to rain, and for the first time since he became a zombie, R gets cold. He runs into M and a group of zombies who have been searching for him. R immediately hugs M, who informs him that he has been having dreams and has begun to feel again. However, they cannot return home because the bonies are hunting them down, including Julie. R and M lead the group to the human enclave, which R learned from Perry's memories. R instructs the others to wait while he looks for Julie to inform her about what's going on. R walks through the town as if he's one of the living. Using Perry's memories, R locates Julie's apartment. At the same time, Julie shares with Nora about her zombie friend. She admits that she misses him, which Nora remarks is crazy before leaving. That night, Julie heads out to the balcony when, to her surprise, R calls her name. Like Romeo and Juliet, the two talk in whispers as to why R came to see her. Nora comes running out to see what all the fuss is about, but when she sees R, she is surprised that he's real and was able to enter their enclave. They let him in the apartment, where R convinces them that he and the other zombies are changing. However, Nora doubts that the colonel would buy what they're saying, so the girls decide to give R a makeover to blend him in with the crowd. R takes a shower, cleaning off the blood and dirt away. They then put on a foundation to hide his pale and veinous face, turning him into a handsome-looking zombie. On the other hand, large groups of corpses and bonies are heading their way in the town. At the military station, Julie, Nora, and R attend the colonel's secret meeting. However, the soldiers don't let them in and question R, to which he talks his way out of by speaking like a human. Inside the station, Julie finds her father busy as they discover the zombies heading to their city. Julie tries to explain that the zombies are currently evolving and how they must support them, but her father doesn't believe her. R feels the need to interrupt them as he needs to get back to M as soon as possible. However, R stutters in nervousness, prompting Julie to explain that she might have triggered something in him. She recounts how he protected and saved her. Still, the colonel points a gun at him and prepares to shoot, but Nora holds a gun to his head, allowing Julie and R to flee. When they get back to see M, Julie and R are surprised to see that more corpses are ready to fight. Before they can prepare, the bonies arrive. While M and his horde of zombies fight against the bonies, the two run out with some bonies and soldiers chasing them. At the same time, the three soldiers come across a bonie. While it munches on one victim, the soldier is about to fire at him. However, a corpse appears, knocking the bonie down and even holds out his hand to help him up. The confused soldier grabs his hand and gets up. When more soldiers arrive, they discover a corpse fighting with bonies, causing confusion on which one they should kill. Upon hearing M greet them, the soldiers decide to attack only the bonies. The corpses and soldiers are now at war against the skeletons. On the other hand, Julie and R come across some bonies, but R manages to fend them off. More and more skeletons come toward them, and they get trapped in the steep, where the only escape is to jump into the water. Determined to protect her, R embraces Julie and covers her with his body to protect her from the impact. His head hits the floor's surface. While Julie is all clear from damage, she finds him at the bottom of the pool and immediately carries him up. Feeling relieved that he survived, Julie kisses him. As she feels his body is getting warm, R passionately kisses Julie again, making his dull eyes turn blue. However, the Colonel shoots R's chest, declaring that the next shot will be through his head. Julie defends him by standing before R, telling her dad to give the corpse a chance. She understands how corpses killed her mother and Perry, but some zombies change and try to be alive. She notices R bleeding, which is unusual for a corpse, convincing the soldiers that she's telling the truth. Though he's in pain, Julie is delighted to see that R is bleeding, a sign that he's back to life. The soldiers lower down their weapons, and they help Julie and R. She runs to her father and hugs him as he decides to take a chance on R. Inside a car, the Colonel drives them to a medic. The Colonel realizes a bigger priority in him, to cherish every moment with Julie while they're still alive. He holds her hand as he drives. At the same time, R feels good to feel pain once again, feeling loved and alive. On the other hand, the humans and corpses kill all the bonies, who cannot get cured by love. The zombies gradually relearn how to live again, while humans teach and get used to living with them, hoping that they soon will be completely healed. One day, M remembers his name is Marcus, and he tries to introduce himself to a woman he just met. Even after healing, R can't recall his name, but he prefers R as he doesn't want his old life, now that he's happy with the new one. Julie and R hold hands while watching the city walls fall, symbolizing their freedom. Unlike most other zombie films, the zombies of this world can heal. Fates lead R to Julie, with whom he forms the first bond between a human and a zombie. Through her and Perry's memories of her, R regains his emotions, which triggers his humanity. R and Julie's connection inspires the rest of the zombies and triggers their healing as well. However, bonies, who are zombies who have entirely relinquished their humanity, cannot heal from this. The movie's final battle is the start of the humans aiding the zombies to regain their humanity and erase the bonies from the world. Thus begins a new world and a brighter future for the world of warm bodies.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.